everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Mage the Ascension the Victorian Age. Welcome. It's been a year, or at least a season, since we have been back, because now it's 2026. So we are, 130 years after game ballpark. So hey, folks, welcome back. I'm your storyteller, Kelly. You've seen him, and I am very excited to be back with this amazing cast of miscreants that are going to they're gonna rack up the paradox. Oh boy, there's my paradox chart. Let's bring that back over. I'm gonna have so much fun giving out paradox this episode. I cannot wait. Just like I can't wait to introduce you to our amazing cast. Why don't we go ahead and start with Christine. Christine, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I've got tea, I've got chocolate. Like, I am set to be a lady right now, which is great. Because ladies enjoy tea and chocolate.
Is that what they do?
Yeah. By my definition of a lady, that sounds like what they would enjoy. So.
That does sound like what they would enjoy. I am not a lady, so I have no idea. But who are you playing tonight?
Well, first off, hi, I'm Christine. I use she, her pronouns, and tonight I get to play Dr. Evelyn Taylor, our Society of Ether mad scientist. But luckily, she's not totally cuckoo right now.
She's not cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, just for Cocoa?
No. It would be really funny if she was still in quiet right now, though.
God. Oh, look, a dead person. Perfect. Yeah. I will just feed them to my horrible, horrible little Pope. Speaking of horrible, horrible popes, hi, Amy.
Wow, what a segue. Thanks for that.
Your character's super Catholic. Or a Protestant. Never mind.
Protestant. She's super Protestant.
Sorry, that's the opposite of the Pope.
That's very different. I am Amy. My pronouns are she, her, or they, them, and I'm playing Chastity, Prudence, Goodwin, the Celestial Chorister / Cult of Ecstasy member. And apparently this is time for her to have some trauma. Thanks for that teaser. I love hearing that.
Worries. I love telling you that you're about to have trauma. It's like my third favorite thing. My second favorite thing right now is Jen and Jen's internet working.
It works, huzzah! And also my computer works, and also my internet did go out briefly, so buckle up. We're gonna see what happens. But hi, I'm Jen. I use she, her pronouns, and I am constantly plagued by paradox. And also constantly plagued by paradox is Josephine, my Order of Hermes character, who is also, well, she uses any pronouns, but she doesn't know that that's an option right now, so she, her is fine for her. Yeah. Much paradox. It's
much
fine.
Paradox. You know, it's probably your fault for starting a podcast called A Paradox of Mage the Ascension podcast. That's kind of like, you know.
I mean, that, and I call reality out on its bullshit, so, yeah.
Yeah, reality's full of bullshit. Hey, Robin will be with us in just a minute. She's just off camera right now taking care of a thing. But in the meanwhile, folks, I have a lot of great things to tell you. The first thing is that this episode is sponsored by none other than Bookwyrm Games. Hey, Bookwyrm Games, they're a great place to get dice. If you need some dice for yourself or for friends, for loved ones, even for your enemies, I don't know why you buy them dice, but hey, go get them. Tonight, I am going to be using my Amethyst D10 set, and I guess Christine is going to be using hers. And I have rolled an 8 for this session, which is pretty indicative of the type of shit I'm going to be doing to you. Folks, it's going to be a fantastic game. In the meanwhile, I have to tell you something that is amazing. Besides the fact that you could save 15% on any purchase that you make on Bookwyrm Games' website by using code DorkTales, Bookwyrm Games and I, and we, and us, have allied our forces to bring the prophecy to life. Yes, that is correct. Dork Tales dice are coming your way very soon. We're doing a countdown to April, folks, when they are going to be coming out. So please check the show notes below. Go check the link in the description and join the notification party. There are going to be a ton of things that are going to be given out to early backers and to people who sign up for the notifications and so on. It's going to be like a ton of stuff. So much stuff, I don't even know what I'm giving at this point. All I know is I'm just throwing stuff at the wall, hoping that like you will just join us as we do our first dice run. And the more dice that we are able to, the more money we're able to raise for this, the more dice that we're going to come out with, including some amazing, like, they're really expensive. So I couldn't afford to help produce a run of them immediately, but if enough of you want them, we can afford them. And they're Mage the Victorian Age inspired D10 sets that are like porcelain looking, and they're so good, but they're really expensive for me. So definitely go click that link right now. They are absolutely fantastic, and we will show you more cats on screen if you're watching live.
She's trying to eat my hair and my hat.
Thanks for doing the Bookwyrm Dark Tales Dice plug. But yes, I'm Robin. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm going to be playing Darcie Harkness, our Irish Verbena member, who also uses she, her pronouns currently.
Perfect. Folks, this is going to be a fantastic game tonight. I just wanted to let you all know that we got a bunch of cool stuff happening very soon. A couple of quick things that you need to know. First of all, if you are not already a member of the Dork Tales Patreon, definitely consider being so, because right now we have 2 new Mage the Ascension games that are slowly being trickled out on YouTube. There are, I think, 2 episodes of Technocracy Dominion, which is my version of Succession with Mage. That is out on YouTube right now. It's open source, but we've got like, I think 8 episodes on the Patreon right now that are complete. So go check it out. Seriously, it's like the price of a cup of coffee. You get access to all those. Then there's Mage the Ascension Bedlam, which takes place about 30 years after Victorian Age and is set in 1920s Seattle. We are on episode, I want to say 5, it might be 6, on YouTube, on Patreon, and we'll be releasing session 0 this week, and then very shortly after we'll be releasing episode 1, so that you can get a jump on that, because it's such a good game, guys. Like, they're both so good. But if enough people join the Patreon, then I can guarantee that there's going to be more Mage content coming your way, because after this chapter wraps, the next thing that goes up on our Patreon is going to be Mage 99, which is our 1990s centered Mage the Ascension game that follows a bunch of mages as they are going into the final years of the real Ascension War, basically. Also, there's fax machines and modems and things that scream at you. I watched a video the other day of somebody turning on their computer, like a Windows 3 computer, and I forgot that they screamed at you when you turned them on, too. And that they made that beep, you know, when it was like, beep. And wow, it was weird. So yeah, if you want to be screamed at by technology, join the Patreon.
Do we have to roll all of our computers back to Windows 99?
You do. But you get to listen to that Prince song like on repeat.
Oh, nice.
So I actually never used Windows 99.
There wasn't a 99. There was so that would have been
97.
Windows. Would have been 97. When did ME come out? Oh yeah, Windows 98 was a thing. Yeah, Windows 98 was a thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Windows 98, and then yeah.
The thing is my elementary school had Macs.
Me too.
Did you have the translucent Macs?
Yeah.
Yes.
The colored ones?
Bright colored ones.
Yeah. We had a lab that had Macs and then a lab that had Windows, and yeah, the Windows were all 98.
So my first Windows computer was a Millennium. So the ME was the first one I actually used.
XP was pretty good.
We had the computer that my dad got from the university when he left because they were surplus and selling them off. Black screen, orange writing, had to use the function keys to do everything.
Oh, that's like what I grew up with. Except ours was like had some like the RGB, the cyan, and the magenta.
So
occasionally,
so
but definitely.
So my dad
Windows was ME.
my dad had a like old school Apple computer for the longest time until he finally upgraded when I was like in my teenage years. And so he had it from before I was born until, or like just after when I was very little, until my teenage years, like 15. So it, you know, a good 10 years at this old Apple computer because it played Railroad Tycoon. And then I was surprised to think that maybe he had autism.
I was literally about to say, was that the first clue?
I mean, the only reason it turned out we got a new computer really was because the school told my parents that we had to print assignments and type assignments up. Couldn't handwrite
We
them.
needed to have emails that we could receive regularly and not just whenever my mom needed to connect to something.
All right,
Oh,
folks.
so my mom worked for the government, so she got email all the time, but just not at home.
Folks, if you want to support the stream and also were a person who had to print off things and then remove like the little like tape strips on either side of the paper from your dot matrix printer, then join the Patreon right now and help me get my hip replacement in a couple of years.
that health insurance.
I mean, I'm in Canada. It's going to be covered anyway.
I was going to say, at least it's Canadian.
It's Canadian.
That's what my dad's doing in like 3 weeks.
But let me remind you, you still need to recover from the hip replacement. And when you're self-employed, that's time you have to not be sitting.
Quick disclaimer before we begin. I don't actually need a new hip yet. I'm just saying that like I'm getting old.
Yeah, we're just joking about being old. That's all.
Anyway. All right, so folks, without further ado, we had a lot of that there. I think it is time for us to start Mage the Ascension of the Victorian Age, episode 17 of book 3, or chapter 17 of book 3, Such Hungry Mouths. Last time in Mage the Ascension of the Victorian Age, you all returned from your meeting with Dr. Layla Haddad, met up with Josephine, and headed back aboard the Empress Express. The rest of your day was spent in a bit of leisure, with the capstone being a nice dinner, where you were all gifted a large amount of alcohol if you wanted it, but also your food was purchased for you by the lovely Hungarian couple staying in the next train up from you. However, as the night progressed, you found yourselves being targeted by a lascivious foreign prince who tried to worm his way both into your hearts and bed sheets. Finding little success, he departed, and shortly afterward, so did Josephine, only to come face to face with him in the hallway. His throat ripped out. He collapsed upon her, and then everything went dark as one of the windows nearby became completely shrouded by the bodies of hundreds and thousands of locusts. And that is where we ended game, as the train went dark from the outside. But that is not where we begin. We find ourselves sitting inside of the Black Suite. Josephine, you and Chastity are sat down on a pair of chairs. Across from you, you see William Trott, the investigator from Scotland Yard. He runs one of his gloved hands over his long and curled mustache and takes a deep and patient breath. Inspector Trott reaches forward, taps the tip of a porcelain teapot shaped like an elephant. Would either of you like tea?
Yes, please. Thank you.
He pours you each a steaming cup, slides a small container of milk and sugar cubes across. You're inside of your room, Josephine. It is a small table. Trott has pulled in a secondary chair and set it down in front of this little table for two, this little dining nook off the edge. Nearby, you can see Darcie and Evelyn sitting on the bed. By the door is Henry Mattow. And Sam Blackwood is looking out the window. There are flecks of blood all over the whites of the men's sleeves. A couple of them, Henry and William particularly, have a number of small cuts and bruises visible along their exposed flesh. And as do two of you, Evelyn and Josephine, you both are a bit banged up as well, a bit sore. Or at the very least, your clothing will require a bit of mending. William Trott takes a sip of tea himself.
All right. So, Miss Josephine, it was you who stepped into the hall and found the man's body.
First, I need to know whether there was any time for the others to tell me, like, anything before this all went down.
Tell you anything in regards to...
Getting our stories straight.
No.
Okay, cool. Yes, I stepped into the hall, and there was a body.
Did you see, by chance, anyone else out there?
No.
I want to reiterate. Although you found the body, and you, Miss Goodwin, were seen running away, I will be honest, neither of you are under suspicion.
That's
Yeah.
good. We shouldn't be.
Please let me finish.
These are questions that need to be asked.
And I answered them.
This man is a foreign diplomat, and I need to make sure that the stories
align. Or else it could have repercussions on both the Red Line and yourselves.
One thing I don't understand, sir, is why you are treating me like I am trying to hide information from you when I am simply answering your questions. Would you not expect a young woman such as Miss Goodwin to run away from a bloody body on the ground? I have some scientific training. I at least understand what I'm looking at. She reacted in fear.
Then Miss Goodwin.
As you were running away in your terror, did you notice anyone in the hall? Anyone moving around? Anything out of the normal?
Out of the normal, you mean the dead body on the ground?
Beyond that, anything that could
I
have
mean, I
led...
was a little distracted by that, and... No, I didn't see anyone else.
No potential assailants?
Not that I can recall, no.
I imagine that given what happened, any evidence in the hallway is long since gone. So I ask you, particularly you, Miss Josephine, should you find anything upon your person when you're changing? Anything that was left behind when the man fell on you? Be it a piece of thread or perhaps a signed confession. Get it to myself or one of my men. And that was a joke, Miss Carrington.
You don't deliver jokes well.
I'm British, we tend not to.
The circumstances?
If I find anything out of the ordinary, I will be sure to let you know.
I have a feeling that nothing else on this voyage is going to seem normal after what happened afterwards. And as he says that, he looks down at the blood on the cuff of his sleeve. And it is at that moment that you all begin to think back. Chastity, you are running down the hallway. Everything goes dark, and then the worst noise you can think of. A crack, a splinter, the sound of breaking ice, the sound of breaking glass. And suddenly, one of the windows shatters inward, inside of the dining car ahead of you. The air fills with blackness, and I would love it if I could get everybody to roll me initiative, please.
Oh, shoot.
Oh boy, it's been a second since we did this. Remind me what the roll for initiative is.
It is a D10
Yep, plus.
plus your wits and dex, and if you have a specialty in those,
Does fast reflexes apply
Yes.
at all? Cool.
How about crisis mode?
yes.
Guessing
Yeah, it
hand-eye
didn't matter.
coordination does not apply yet.
It will not. No, not yet. Amy and Robin, what are your modifiers? Like, what do you add?
7.
Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 plus 5.
Okay, so Robin will go first, and Jen, what did you get?
A 10. Sorry, I was
No,
trying
you
to
were
deal
dealing
with the cat.
Okay, so that is going to be... Okay, let's roll for Henry, and let's roll for Sam. Okay, Sam's first. I'm going to say that Sam is mildly surprised. Okay, so... Sam, Evelyn, Darcie, Chas, Joe. And then... Bugs with a Z. The window shatters inward, and suddenly the air is flooded with hundreds upon thousands of locusts. They swarm into every visible area, covering everything and everyone. There is a scream that echoes from inside of the room. And let's see what is happening. So, basically, the door between the dining area that you were in and the corridor that you were exiting into where you found the body is open right now. Evelyn, what do you do?
Okay. So we're in a corridor.
Yes.
The dining cart behind us.
Yes.
And there's a door there that's open.
So basically the door opened, and then a couple of people, that's what basically the door opened. You saw that Josephine had the murdered person. You were trying to figure out what to do, and then I believe the door opened again as
and
there was a
people
scream.
came through.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't remember if Chastity's time effect actually was done or if we debated that, but
was.
like...
It was only
Yeah.
like for like a round, so it was by the time we were
Okay.
done discussing, Jazz was like, "Oh fuck this," and ran off.
Fair enough. I couldn't remember the specifics, so...
All right. So, so basically, like, you are right next to the open door. I'm assuming that, I forget who was walking through the door at the time, but at this point, there are a lot of people standing around screaming, so we'll just say that whoever's in the door is in the door. Perhaps it's Beckett. We'll say it's Beckett standing in the door.
Okay, and then a window in this corridor. This other car has
So
broken?
a window in the dining car shattered open. But
Oh, okay, so behind us.
behind you. But the bugs are starting to flood into this chamber.
Okay. And so everybody in the dining car is screaming, and there's probably
Yes.
people between me and getting in there.
Yes. Right now, Cuthbert Beckett is in between you two. Or between you and the next chamber. Next car.
Evelyn is going to take a deep breath and start shouting instructions in as commanding a voice as she can to cover the windows with the tables. The men should lift the tables over the windows type thing. Give them some clear direction of something to do. And then the staff can come and nail them up afterwards. But for now, let's get them in the way.
All right, so I want you to do me a favor. Go ahead and make me a charisma plus leadership roll. You have enchanting voice?
Eyes, unfortunately.
Okay, that's not going to apply. So I'm going to raise your difficulty to 8 because of the chaos. It'll be hard to be heard.
Okay. Okay. I don't have leadership, but I do have intimidation.
That will work. That's the
Let's do
intimidation
that.
for the masses.
I'm gonna just with my loud, strong voice, intimidate them into doing what I want them to do.
You should take specialization in mom scream.
No, I had that in, what's the other game? So I don't need it again. I do that too frequently. Okay, so that is, and you said it was difficulty 8?
Difficulty of 8.
That's 4 successes with 2 10s and 2 9s.
4 successes. All right. So that is going to... some of the men inside are going to nod. You see that big, burly Russian man stand up, grunting as he's smacking handfuls of locusts out of his face. I want to call them loci. But yeah, so locusts out of his face. I should have just made these like bears or something. Much easier to pluralize. Swarms of bears. But starts knocking these locusts as he reaches towards one of the tables, starts sweeping it up. But that is not on his turn. All right, Evelyn, screaming that. Are you doing any movement?
Don't think so.
All right, Darcie, it is your turn.
Okay. Is it still, like, it's still pitch black? Yes.
It is, aside from the interior lighting of the train, yes.
Okay, I think Darcie is going to actually take some herbs out of her satchel, and she's going to quickly bite down on some. I think we established basil had lots of beta carotene in it.
Probably.
Yeah, I think so. But anyway, a herb that has a lot of beta carotene to activate her night vision, essentially seeing moonlight, like her moonlight
Moonlight sight
that she has. Yeah, so she can see in the dark better.
All right,
so,
sounds
she'd like
good.
to be able to get a better handle on the situation.
Are you doing this using forces?
Yes, this is a forces route.
Okay. All right, so give this to me at difficulty of 4.
Okay. Oh shit. 10s reroll, and count 2 if we have a specialty, right?
That is correct in magic.
So yeah, okay, so but the 10s reroll.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't have a specialty. Cool. That's 5 successes.
Okay, you're going to have night sight for the remainder of this. It is a held effect for the remainder of this book.
Yeah, until I want to get rid of it.
All right.
Perfect. Does anything improve with what she's seeing around quick? Like, can she see anything, I guess?
You can see that the window has broken in and is in the process of being just swarmed. It's almost like you've sprung a leak underwater and all of the fluid of these insect bodies are flooding in. Unnaturally.
Okay, so yeah, that's probably that. Yeah, I don't really know right now. I think she's probably, I guess, a little bit stunned in what to do at this point. So I think.
All right. So you can basically move at this point.
Yeah, I can't really move because I'm in the hallway.
Yeah, you could basically like run after Chastity, and that's about it.
I think she's just gonna stay where she is just to see what needs to be done at this point. Because yeah, she doesn't quite know what to do, and she kind of did magic already this turn. So that'll be for next turn.
Chastity, it is your turn. What do you do?
Well, she's running.
So you're going to hear that noise behind you and then the screams?
Yeah, I think she'll possibly, like, stop very momentarily and look back, but then just keep going. Heading back. She's trying to get back to their their room or their carriage. Because, I mean, if someone's doing stuff and they think someone's breaking into rooms for things, who knows? Also, I don't know. She's She's going back to try and make sure everything's okay. And also doesn't want to be at the site of this. Fuck that.
Sounds good. 1 second. Chastity, can you do me a favor and what's your willpower rating?
Total?
Yeah.
5.
Perfect. So, you throw open the door and rush past into the next chamber and stumble forward a few feet. Because as you rush through the chamber, heading back toward your own rooms, you find yourself stumbling into this corridor and staring at Darcie and Josephine and Evelyn in front of you.
Ooh.
As
Prime
if
site.
you... Okay.
Well, I guess do I have correspondence? Do I have any points on that? Right? I do. I point correspondence 1. Can I see if there's something fucking with the physical, like,
Oh boy.
looping?
Just one moment. I have to double check a thing.
Okay, that's great.
Good that you're double checking that because I'm about to do a whole bunch of sites at once.
Oh boy. That sounds fantastic. Let's just go ahead and open my favorite book from Revised.
Ooh.
All right, quick and dirty rules. All right, so can you please do me a favor, and you are going to turn on your Prime site?
Yeah,
Right? Or correspondence site.
I'm trying to do. If I can merge Prime and correspondence, that she'll do that. But the main one was correspondence.
All right, so I want you to go ahead and give me your Rattray at a difficulty of 4.
And that would be 4 successes.
Damn. Okay, hold on 1 sec.
You said difficulty 4.
I did.
4 was my lowest roll.
Okay. That's great. Okay. Oh my god, Amy, what the hell? Oh my god. Amy, looking around, you are going to see something incredibly strange. Throwing on correspondence, I need to know how you do this.
This is gonna be because I was gonna try and link it in with her prime, which is her celestial chorister. So that one's going to very much be a prayer and grabbing her cross that she's got.
Turning on your correspondence site, you are going to be able to see that the door that you just entered through, you must have gotten turned around because behind you is the direction that you were aiming for. But you're also going to notice something very strange, and that's as you were looking with your correspondence site, you are going to recognize Josephine's pattern and Darcie's pattern and Evelyn's pattern and Mr. Beckett's pattern and all of the other patterns, as well as something very strange. And I'm going to send you a PM. So pardon me one moment while I do this. So that is what you are going to see as you look around. You're going to hear screaming. You're going to see people swatting at their faces, sprays of blood.
Okay. Is that all I can do in my turn, or is there anything else?
I think that you can move, and that's about it.
Okay. The door behind me, is it closed?
It is. It is closed.
Can I use my movement or object interact just to open it?
Absolutely, you totally can. That takes you to the fancy suites. The ones
she's not going through it, she's just opening it.
Okay, that's the one that you thought you would open. I mean, your hand is still basically on it. Looking back, you are going to see through that way. Yeah, that is absolutely the fancy suites where the Hungarian couple and the old lady and the Victoria car, basically.
Okay. Well, we're just going to make it so that she is obstructing it from closing.
That sounds good. All
That
right,
is her movement.
next down the list, we have Joe. Joe, you're going to put on 1,000,000 sights.
Yeah, so I'm going to put on if I can prime sight, dark sight, and correspondence.
Okay, so that's going to be
give it a mind.
Cool. Difficulty of you're using multiple different foci for this. So give me a difficulty of.
I'm using one foci for this. It's a similar thing, but I have I don't have a rote for it. But when I do sights, I do them all the same. It's just with different materials. So I'm using one material for all of them.
Okay, give it to me a difficulty of 5, we'll say.
Oops, I need another die. Four successes.
4 successes. Okay. God damn it, 4 successes, really?
Yep.
Fucking hell. Should have made it difficulty 5. Okay, 1 second.
I rolled a 6 and up for everything except for one die, which was a 4, but I had I had a 10 to reroll. So.
All right, fine. Yeah. I'm going to send you a PM as well.
Okey-doke.
That is going to register in your correspondence site. However, your prime site is not going to register any magic aside from Chastity's, as well as your dark site is mostly going to compensate for the dimmed lighting of the interior.
That's basically what I was hoping for. The prime site was mostly just to see if anything was magical, but
Okay.
Cool.
And I've sent you that on Messenger.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so that is what you were going to see. Anything you're doing?
Sticking to one side of the hallway because I expect more people to be rushing out of the dining hall and like away.
Oh, 100%. In fact, as you hug the wall, I'll say that gives you a bonus against any bodies that are hurling this way. I would like everybody inside of here to please do me a favor. That is going to be everyone here needs to make a roll for me on their off, which is going to be on their off turn, which is going to be a stamina plus survival roll. Difficulty
Does
of
tough apply?
Yes, it does. Difficulty of 7, except for Chastity and Josephine. You guys can do it a difficulty of 5.
Okay, I also don't have survival.
Then that's going to be difficulty of 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think this works for escapology.
No, the bugs aren't trying to tie you up.
I'm going to spend a willpower.
Sounds good.
Okay. So sorry, what would my difficulty be without survival? There's so
It
much
goes up
thrown
by
there
1.
that I'm not sure.
So 8. We were at difficulty 7.
Okay, that's what I was trying to question because I couldn't remember what Chastity was at.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Does this have anything to do with balance?
It does not.
Okay, cool.
So, what is going to happen is with the open door, the locusts are going to further swarm out, filling the area, and they are going to cover everyone and everything in this space. Did anyone fail their roll?
Oh boy, did I. I didn't botch because of the willpower.
And Evelyn, you failed? You got 1? Okay, good.
No, you said did anybody fail? I didn't put my hand up, so.
Fair, okay. So let me just roll for this to see how good.
I rolled 1, 2, 2, 4, and spent a willpower.
Okay. Oh, you didn't botch at least. All right. Did anyone get less than? How many successes did you get, Chastity? 3? You got 2. Okay, so you're going to tie with me, which means that as per what I said earlier, Evelyn and Josephine are going to be the one that are going to be struck. Both of you are going to take... give me a stamina roll, both of you. Okay.
I rolled 6 successes. Does that give me like any sort of bonus extra thing?
You are going to be totally fine this round, and I'll give you a bonus next round.
Nice.
What's the difficulty for the stamina roll?
Difficulty of 6.
Sorry, was that Evelyn and Joe?
Just Evelyn and Joe.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I missed
fail.
that. You're telling me. So,
Okay.
what am I doing again?
You're soaking difficulty 6.
Okay, cool.
Flat fail. 6 and a 1.
Okay.
Also flat fail. 2 2s and a 5.
Okay. So luckily I rolled for crap. So both of you are going to be surrounded by these insects that are going to start biting and chewing and trying to claw their way into your hair, into your everything. I'm going to leave it at that because I know we have a bug thing. So, but they're biting. Both of you are going to take 1 point of bashing damage, as little flecks of blood are going to be drawn up. Josephine, this is directly counter to the information you were just given. So
I'm confused, but also I know magic, so I'm thinking it's magic.
absolutely. So that is going to start to bite at you, and is going to start to, for one, sting. This sucks. At this point, you are going to see the next room go into a flurry of action. Several men go and swoop up tables. Mr. Beckett is going to get out of the way, much like Josephine just did, and is going to try something completely different. It's like you can see his eyes kind of roll up in his head as if he's trying to do something almost like a concentration, or I don't know exactly what he's doing. He's definitely not trying to use animalism.
I was gonna say, sounds like he's trying to talk to the bugs.
He lets out a noise deep into his chest that only you guys can hear because you're close enough. That sounds like he's trying to trill like bugs, and then immediately gets attacked by bugs because they don't listen to him. And he is going to let out a yelp of frustration as he covers his face, snarling into the crook of his elbow as he backs into the hallway. Inside of the room, you can see that some of the other men are shielding the women folk, covering them with tablecloths, trying to beat off the bugs as much as possible while pushing the women back toward the lounge rather than the actual dinner car. Some of the men are going to rush out through the area that you find yourselves in, and I'm going to roll real quick. I would like everyone in the hallway. Chastity, you are too far down. You do not apply for this, but Darcie, Joe, and Evelyn, all of you make me a dexterity and athletics test, not to be bowled over. Joe, you can do so at difficulty of 4 because you are pressed against the wall.
Does dodging or fast reflexes apply?
They both apply.
Sweet.
And this is balance?
This will be balance, yeah, basically to not get knocked over.
Cool, because I have cat-like balance, which reduces my difficulty by 2.
Okay, so that will be to I'm going to say it's a minimum of 3.
Which is fair, yeah.
Actually, that's only magic, so difficulty 2, I think, actually does exist in WoD.
Technically, yes, but I'm fine with 3.
You know what? Tell me if you roll anything less than a 3.
Fair.
Sorry, what was the overall difficulty?
Overall difficulty is going to be 6, basically just trying to get out of the way as several people rush into the hallway.
Five successes.
5 successes. Okay, you are able to step back out of the way, pressing yourself against the wall as several of the men from the other car are going to push by you. You are going to recognize the... Oh god, who is a coward? That is going to be Andre and Helena Paramidaru, the Romanian honeymooning couple, are going to push past you as Andre shields his lover. That is 6 successes for Christine. That is how many successes for Robin? 4 successes for Jen. How many did you get, Robin?
I said 5.
5. Okay, you guys are all fine. I rolled 2 successes for the mob. They're going to push past you. There's going to be a burst of motion inside of the room. You'll see Henry and Sam picking up large tablecloths and trying to, like, basically kite.
I gotta ask real quick.
Yeah.
That mob that stormed through, because they were questioning us immediately after we're still in the corridor, is the body still on the floor?
Oh yes, there's going to be a horrible noise as they rush over, and you can see that Helena brings down one of her thick-soled shoes on top of the corpse's jaw, shattering its teeth. And not only that, you hear the crunching of insect carapae that are covering... carapaces? Whatever. Insect bodies that are covering and devouring the corpse as you see.
I suppose couldn't happen to a nicer guy, but... Ooh.
As you look down, the jaw is going to snap off as she puts her entire weight onto it and pushes. And that is when you see a gout of locusts erupt from his jaw. All right, top of the round. Evelyn, it's your turn. What do you do?
I have no idea what's even happening anymore. So does it seem like most people are out of that other carriage, or is
about half of them? So I would say
Okay.
the ones that are still inside of the room, you can still see. Actually, you can hear the scream of Baroness Clara von Richtenstein. You can see that Professor Heinrich Mueller and Julian Templeton are trapped in there. Nathaniel P. Calhoun is also in there, but Armand Levesque, Wilhelmina Harker, and a couple of the others, like that Sergei Ivanov and Dr. Milo Morvidius, are inside there as well. But it seems like most of the women have been vacated, including Dr. Haddad has ran into the corridor to the rear of the train. But it appears that several of the men are still trapped inside of there, as well as Henry, William, and Sam. And so is the Baroness.
okay? Can I see if there's any unopened bottles of wine nearby?
Oh, there are plenty.
There.
They were having a giant celebration inside. There absolutely is.
Like specifically something like champagne.
Champagne is incredibly popular in this day and age. Yes, there is a bottle of champagne. Probably a bottle of... Robin, was Dom around back then?
Yes, 100%.
All right, so there's a bottle of Dom Perignon right there.
Sweet, that'll work great.
It's even on
I
ice.
would like to use this. I'm trying to decide what would work better, so I need some advice here.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking using it in some sort of effect, like shaking it up and spraying. Not so much to turn on fire, like to light on fire. That was my first thought, but that would be foolish inside a train compartment with a lot of other people. But something that could be explained away in the sense of like, oh, well, bugs don't like alcohol. It coats them and makes them unable to like survive. They can't breathe through it or something. So that I can entropy destroy them.
That's very
Or something
clever.
like that.
That could work. You could also use matter to make it so they
I
can't
can like
fly.
shake
Or something like that, like
aerosol it
basically
really
like
quickly.
how bees, when their wings get wet, at least according to Maya the bee, that cartoon I watched when I was a kid, says that when bees get their wings wet, they can't fly, or something like that, right? But yeah,
Something a Victorian would have believed plausible.
I think that sounds totally believable. Go ahead and give me that entropy roll. Give it to me
Cool.
at, you are using, so you would be using entropy 4, but
Okay.
these are simple creatures. So a swarm basically counts as slay machine, in my opinion.
Okay.
So you can do it at a level easier. So that means that you are going to be shooting for difficulty of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is your specialty for entropy?
So, good question. I don't remember what.
Probably wasn't champagne.
Oh, I hadn't selected one yet, I don't think.
Okay.
I hadn't realized that you needed for each 4 level for magic as well. So I have one for
So
matter.
what's your specialty focus for this?
Okay. So that would probably be what I'd use for some rotes and stuff,
but you
right?
absolutely would be able, you should have a specialty for entropy as well, which could just be like destruction.
Most of my entropy rotes is to do with chemistry, it looks like.
Okay, so we can just use chemistry as a broad one. So this would count as some type of chemistry. You're applying chemical components, like literally you're applying a liquid chemical. So give me this at difficulty 5. And do you have any idea what your specialty for entropy will be?
No.
Okay.
I mean, actually, you know what? I use it for destruction or for, where's the other one that I use often? Disintegration or...
So erosion of some
I kind
kind.
of use probability as well.
So which one would you like your specialty to be in?
You know what? She's been going more and more towards just straight up destruction, so...
Sure, that sounds great. So find a fun word. Basically, you have an entropy focus in literal entropy. Go ahead and give me this at difficulty 5, unless you want to spend any quintessence.
I don't have any, so...
Okay, sounds good.
I'm kind of stuck there. I will can I spend a willpower, though?
100%.
Sweet. I'm going to do that, then. Okay.
Did you get any 10s?
I did.
Remember that because it's a destruction-based one, your 10s reroll and count as 2 per 10.
Oh!
That's the benefit. That's why I was asking, because I had a feeling you were going to roll at least 1 10.
Okay, so 10s count as 2?
And they reroll.
Okay, and 1 still
If you have a
away in this one,
specialty.
right?
If you have a specialty, which...
Are we counting it as having a specialty?
If it's destruction, yeah. You have entropy 4?
Okay. I do have entropy 4.
Then, yep, absolutely.
Okay. And 1 still take away from
1 still do
successes,
take away.
correct?
Unless you roll them off of a 10, in which case we just pretend that didn't happen.
I know that one came from the first roll.
Okay. And don't forget your willpower success on top of it. A lot of people
Okay, so
tend to be
10
doing
successes.
that these days. How many?
10. I got 4 10s.
Good night, everybody.
I rolled 3 times, to be fair, to get those 4 10s.
Okay, so let me just try to remember what the size of that would be. So that is going to be 20 levels of lethal damage to the swarm. Let me just check my notes to see how many health levels the swarm has. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 7. Okay. There is going to be... describe what you're doing. Describe this to me, please, as you shake this up.
She's running in, grabbing a bottle, maybe even 2, and just shaking them up, thumbing the cork somehow. Okay, not quite like that. I was specifically gonna go like, so it didn't look like that.
Someone clip that. Clip that.
And doing it to try and make as much froth and aerosol as possible, and trying to like maybe doing 1 at a time even, so that she can like go through until one ends and then keep going for the rest of the carriage. Trying to spray it all over them to
All right,
allow
literally
her
Evelyn's
magic
doing
to go through.
Evelyn's doing spray and pray.
Basically.
Well, if too bad Chastity's not behind you blessing it. Then it would be spray and pray. But so spraying this out in there, you are watching swaths of these locusts fall to the ground. I would say that the swarm is 2/3, maybe three quarters just destroyed by this spray as you are making your way through there. The rest of them basically are going to be down into, there are a few hundred now instead of thousands inside of this large room, many of which are going to start to be crunched and crushed underneath boots of the several men who remain. Fantastic job, Evelyn. Darcie, what would you like to do as you watch Wino?
Wino's Chastity.
Yeah.
Oh, Wino's Chastity.
Yeah. Could. So are there a bunch of people out here that can see?
There
what
are
we're
a bunch of
doing,
people
right?
that are rushing through the hallway. Yes.
Okay, so I can't really do anything subtly because Darcie's a witch.
I mean, do whatever you want. What do you want to do?
I'm not. Could I force infuse my hand and start punching the swarm?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Your sound of your voice is concerning to me.
Now I need to know how you're doing this. Are you just imbuing your hand and gonna start like bitch slapping all of the locusts?
Yeah, I think like in the face of like trying to
Or are you going to
flies out of
prime?
yourself.
Or would you rather prime imbue your Book of Shadows and start splatting them like a phone book?
Oh yeah, I could do that. Yeah. Can
Okay.
I prime imbue my Book of Shadows and start?
Yeah, absolutely you can. So that's a magical relic to begin with. So here's what I'm going to do. If you're going to rush in and take a swing, what we are going to do is, as you make your first attack, go ahead and we're going to make this the attack as part of the foci, basically using some of the magic of the book as part of that. So I want you to make the attack roll first. That is going to be an attack roll. So that's going to be dexterity and melee. At a difficulty of, I mean, it's a swarm of bugs. I'm going to say 5. They're big.
Does fast reflexes apply?
For swatting
Probably
bugs,
not.
yes.
Okay, sweet.
You ever tried to swat a fly?
Yeah.
Also, thank Amy for saying a giant fly swatter in our private chat right now, because that just gave you a
Yeah.
-1 difficulty.
Nice. What was my difficulty? Sorry.
Difficulty 5. I just said.
Sorry. Yes, I was.
That's okay. You're
I
busy.
Yeah,
busy swatting
I'm
bugs. You're on the
dealing
SWAT team.
with- Yeah. That's gonna be 3 successes.
3 successes. All right. So what I want you to do is go ahead and make me your Rattray roll at a difficulty of 1, 2, 3, 4, and spend a point of quintessence to imbue your book.
Sweet. Pew. Oh, that's going to be just 1 success because of that one. Rude.
1 success. That is enough for it to be imbued for this round, though.
Sweet.
So, what I want you to do is you are going to roll a... Oh, boy. So you're going to roll me strength plus 3 aggravated damage.
Cap. Strength plus 3. Unfortunately, strong thighs will not apply for my strength, but...
I don't want to know how you're swatting those bugs if that does apply.
So strength,
Very carefully.
strength. So strength plus 3 is an add. That's add 3.
That's
dice,
how many
right?
dice you add, yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
All against a difficulty of 6.
That's going to be 2 successes because I got 1s.
2 successes. All right. There is, let's go ahead and add another point of paradox to you because you're using vulgar magic. It's a prime book. Hey, at least you don't get the witness bonus because nobody's really paying attention. But you whip out your book, surging into the room, and bring down your book onto a swarm of these bugs. There is a small flash of light that everyone with prime sight is going to see like a flashbang as it's like there is a bug zapper in front of you. And that was how many points of aggravated damage? 4? 3?
No, I rolled only 2 successes.
Only 2 successes. Okay. There is half a swarm left in the room as you bring that book down, smashing the magic down into them. They dissipate and dissolve. This is the first time you've ever seen this. These bugs just, they fade almost like a waking dream in front of you. Chastity, what do you do?
Okay, real quick, does that kind of give any sort of similar vibes to Paris at all? Like when we interacted with stuff in Paris?
It does
When
make
we're
you
stuck
think
in
of,
the...
perhaps,
Yeah, okay.
perhaps maybe a
Okay.
little.
Okay. Fun. That's great. That's super fun. I love that for me.
I love that for you. I think you definitely could draw that parallel. I'm not sure if that would be exactly what you're seeing, but you could draw that parallel if you chose to. Chastity.
Yeah, so based on what you sent me in my private message, I think that, okay, player Amy is trying to figure out if just doing a very constant, if there's a way I can counter this with like Prime.
I was also
Like
going to ask
counter
about
magic?
counter magic and how we were doing
Yeah.
it. So good call.
Because if it takes a couple rounds to do, she is willing to recite several Bible verses to use like Prime and then smash some mind in there
So,
if that's needed. Like, or I'm not sure what.
Well, it depends. It depends what you think this is. And this is the guesswork of mage counter magic against things that are weird magic.
Yeah. Yay. I can't see what that is, but yay.
It's the revised Storyteller's Handbook, the best book they ever put out
Yeah.
after the Book of Madness revised.
So I'm honestly starting off with just because Primus is the one to do with more like patterns, right? And that sort of.
Well, it's with magical patterns,
No,
yes,
no.
but you are detecting. Did you have Prime Sight on
So-
or just Core Sight?
Prime and correspondence.
So you see no Prime energy around you
Okay.
to counter magic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I don't see any Prime at all, then I'm going to
don't-
shift to mind because I don't have. Yeah. So I'm going to try and I don't know,
Okay.
disbelieve this or bring down.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I would love it is if you could rolls your normal Arete roll, usually at coincidental magic difficulty numbers. Yep. That's going to be at a you're just tearing this apart. There's going to be a straight up difficulty of 4.
Okay. I'm willing to put a full round into chanting to do this.
Okay.
I don't know how much that will help. I'm going to spend my current
Spend your willpower.
spend a willpower because I've got 1 left currently. And then I'm going to spend a quint, I think.
Sounds good. So
Yes.
I will say that. How would that work? Let me just double check something in my head. Okay, so spending a difficulty. So you are. I'm going to make an executive call at this point and say that spending a quintessence is not going to affect your difficulty.
Oh,
It will do
Okay.
something else, however.
cool. Okay, I'm still so I'll spend it. So what did you say the difficulty was? Sorry.
Difficulty of this is going to be 4.
Okay. And I've spent that 1 willpower.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, she's going to kind of push herself up against one of the walls to be kind of out of the way. She's still holding the door open just because. But yeah, she's going to start reciting a Bible verse. Yeah. We're going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to show you what this is.
All right, give it to me. Difficulty 4.
Okay. Okay, so with willpower, that is 4 successes.
Okay. Your point of quintessence is going to give you an additional success on this.
Ooh.
As you stabilize reality around your point of contact. I'm going to treat it as a success instead of a difficulty lower on this. And is that the prayer that you were saying?
Well, I mean, she's saying verses. I don't know if this counts exactly as a prayer.
Okay.
But yeah.
Can I hear it, please?
So she's just... Okay. And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace. And the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth have power. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of God on their foreheads.
And as you say that, you and Josephine are both going to see the correspondence patterns in front of you suddenly match what your eyes are seeing. As whatever is in front of you, the locusts evaporate.
I was hoping if she was taking the round, I'd also get a turn, but oh well.
I'm sorry, Josephine. What would you like to do? So as she's doing that, so what would you like to do while this is happening?
Because I don't have mind magic, and I don't know if this is mind magic, but because I'm still feeling the damage, my brain goes to spirit, and I have spirit magic. So I would like to try and unweave this using Prime and Spirit.
Okay, so...
Whether or not it works, it doesn't matter, but I feel like both Josephine's and Chastity's coming together at the same point makes a lot of sense.
So I want you to go ahead and give me that roll as well. Give it to me at a difficulty of 4 still. Actually, the difficulty, difficulty of 5, because you're doing multiple spheres. That's the way we're going to run that.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm going to spend a willpower. Also, my thinking it through was like, the prime magic is hurting it somehow, so that tells me spirit.
That's a good call.
That is 3 successes with the willpower.
Okay. As they evaporate, you are also going to see... Ooh, boy. How would this... You said 3 successes?
Yeah, 3.
Okay. What I'm going to do... God, it gets so hit and miss when you deal with these subjects, but... Casting that out, you are going to feel for a spirit effect, and as you rend it down, you are going to see the blood and cuts and marks on you and Evelyn start to fade. As both of you can not heal, but regain that level. It's not like your flesh is knitting. It's more like your body is forgetting that it was hurt in the first place. So both of you are going to undamage that level of bashing that you took. As well, you can see that in front of you, Beckett is going to touch the side of his face where before you could see blood coagulated along the edge of his cheek, raw strips of red where the locust had torn in. But it doesn't go beyond you, but you are going to see that kind of fades out of being. And I want to tell you the best thing. You and Chastity, neither of you take any straights or paradox for that, because counter magic is always coincidental. Welcome to Team Boring.
I basically threw some powder in the air. Went like, yeah.
Well, and then it is only the sound of the train interior as the train hurtles down the tracks. The sound of the men propping up the table, sealing it against the window, and pulling down some of the shutters to hold it in place. You can hear on the other side of the train car people walking across broken glass, scattered cutlery, broken ceramics, broken china. William Trott turns into the hallway, looks at you all. Looks down at the corpse of the prince that looks like it has been eaten by 1,000 hungry mouths. "Boy," he says to one of the nearby attendees, "cover the prince with a cloth. Miss Carrington, Miss Goodwin, I think we need to speak in private." And as he says that, I think we're going to go to a quick break. So, folks, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is the part of the program where I'm going to talk at you with the chat. Hey, folks. How's it going? Hope you're having some fun here. Just a quick reminder, go click that link and sign up for the Dork Tales dice. They are going to be really cool, and I'm very excited because there are some very special Mage the Ascension, like this game-inspired dice that are on one of our stretch goals coming up. Just trust me, they're going to be absolutely fantastic. But yeah, I'm excited for it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Plus, it's just like... it's going to be fun, cool way to reach out to you guys. I guess we should probably get ready to head back into game.
I will give a warning. I'm currently trying to wear out the cats and will keep myself on mute, but if I do have to speak, there might be cat noises nearby until they are tired enough to not bother me.
All right, so Josephine is wrangling brands, and I think it's time for us to head back into game here on Dork Tales. Hello and welcome back to Mage the Ascension the Victorian Age. We cut back to being in the Black Suite, with William Trott sitting across the table from you. Now, there are still some bloodstains there on the sides of your sleeves, and on him, quite a few bites. You can see that Henry as well received quite a few bites when he was tableclothing a number of the locuses. Now, I would like everyone here... well, no, two of you are going to be quite enamored, quite focused on William Trott, so I would like Darcie and Evelyn. Both of you make me a perception roll. Perception and alertness, please.
Does Hawkeyes apply?
Specifically, yes, actually.
Does detail-oriented apply?
Yes, it will.
What is the difficulty?
Difficulty of 6.
It's only a botch when you get no successes, right?
That is correct.
Cool, I rolled 8 dice, but 3 ones, so I failed. Because I got a couple successes, but I failed.
All right. I know exactly why. You got 4? Is that what I heard? Okay. Darcie, Sam is keeping his eyes on the room. He occasionally glances over at you, and you are not focused on anything except the hip pocket of his vest. because as he moves, you are going to see that the vest he is wearing beneath his suit jacket has a very specific piece of paper sticking out of it.
That tracks why she's not focused on anything else. 100%.
Now, Evelyn, you are going to see as well that he has some type of letter sticking out of the pocket of his vest. But you were going to notice as well that there are a number of bites, of course, along Henry's face and arms that he is scratching at idly. However, he looks very troubled. And presently, although he's dressed in Western garb, you have had the benefit of seeing him without his clothes. And you know that he does wear a small leather bag around his neck. Around it are a number of feathers and other bits of medicine, in the traditional sense of the word. He has since loosened his tie, keeping an open collar that would be scandalous were he not distinctly foreign to European culture. Even then, I mean, there's only so much that they can get away with. But he has thumbed open some of the notches of his collar and is idly holding the medicine bag. He looks troubled. And it is there that you are going to be able to hear the sound of footsteps coming down the hallway. Distinctly feminine footsteps, paired with hard-soled shoes. They pause outside of the doorway as Mr. Trott is in the middle of his interrogation/speech. And then there is a rapping on the door, made with a strong wooden cane, tipped with a bit of perhaps silver or iron. You will hear on the other side, "Mr. Trott!" The familiar voice of that engineer, the man that Mr. Harlow, who you had encountered inside of the storage room. "Mr. Trott, are you inside?"
"Yes, sir, I am." "The door is unlocked, if you would, please."
The door opens, and the spindly form of Mr. Harlow enters, flanked by Wilhelmina Barrow, the engineer and potential member of the Order of Reason. Her hair flares behind her. It's still full of a couple of shards of broken glass as she moves, the frizz clinging tightly to the broken bits of glass. Her eyeglasses have a crack running through them that have been pasted over with some type of chemical compound. She is disheveled and frustrated, and wringing at the top of her breeches.
So we meet again."
Mr. Harlow says, looking around the room at each of you ladies.
Well, did anything turn up in your investigations?
He glares around the room at you once more, but Mr. Trott, if he notices, does not pay it any mind, and instead responds,
"Unfortunately, it does not appear that we have any idea who the correct murderer, the name of the murderer, might be. The ladies have been quite traumatized. Might we speak in the hallway, sir?"
They will nod, and Wilhelmina Barrow will take a look around the room and will say, I don't like that this room is so much nicer than mine. Why do you get the nice room and I have to share? Doesn't make any sense. I designed this train. I should be somewhere nicer than the sharing with an Irish woman. And will head out into the hallway, trailing behind Barrow and Trot, leaving the lot of you alone with Henry and Sam. What do you all do?
Whew. I think Jas just lets out a big, long breath.
Look, none of you are in any trouble. Really. Like, they don't think that any of you did anything wrong, okay? Just none of this makes any damn sense. There were bugs there, Sam says, and then there weren't bugs.
So, what happened when you escorted him out?
What do you mean?
Well,
The prince?
the prince was eating with us and being quite rude.
He was, and I got him out of there. I took him back to his room, and I made sure that he stayed there. And then...
Somehow he ended up back to the dining cart.
And then, And then I was in the dining car.
Do you remember how... Did you see anything on your way back? Anybody who wasn't at dinner?
Do you remember walking back to the dining car?
Yeah. No, I don't.
Can just throw up a mind effect to, try and get a sense of what he remembers. I mean, I think she's gonna stand up and kind of approach him and look at looking at him carefully, kind of. Just kind of. Can you just bear with me, but can you walk us through that again? What you remember?
Yeah, fine. I walked,
And as he starts doing that, I would love to do I want to prompt his memory to try and see what he really does remember. Like, if there's anything hidden or gaps.
So go ahead and do me a favor. Make me an Arete check at a difficulty of 6.
Oh, she's also totally going to hand him, a glass of alcohol or something to try and, calm his nerves or jog his memory.
Actually, I could probably use that after the afternoon.
It's a difficulty of 6.
Yeah.
There's a single success.
You were going to walk down the hallway through his eyes for a second. He holds the door open for the prince. There you are, Your Majesty. I think it'd be best if you stayed in here for a little bit and let the commoners drip out. If that is what you say I should do, who am I to argue with an agent of the law? Then he's going to lean forward, looking around. The prince is going to grin lasciviously and
I'd say. Perhaps some of those delicious, succulent young women will come here. Maybe the blonde or the redhead. What do you say? Which is your favorite? And you'll hear a click. Ah, touched a nerve, didn't I? Glancing down, you can, well, Sam doesn't glance down, so you don't glance down. But you do recognize the click of the hammer of a gun. I don't care what country you're from. I don't care how much money you've got. When you're on this train, you're going to treat the ladies here with respect, or I'm going to send you to whatever god you worship. Whether or not you get there with your teeth is optional. Okay? We're good? Great. Love it. A little bit of doubt, worry, and amusement works into the prince's eyes. Good. You should sleep off your drink. It's not haram. And Sam shuts the door. And then you are going to get a splitting headache. Chastity, I need you to do me a favor. And I need you to do me a favor and roll... Oh boy. I'll say this is a willpower roll.
So this is based on my total willpower, right?
Total willpower, yep.
Cool. Oh boy. Do I get a... Is this a difficulty 6 or do I just...
Difficulty 6.
Do 10s explode on willpower rolls or no?
I think they do. I think they do. Yeah.
Okay. 1 sec. Okay, so that's 5 successes. The 3 10s did not roll additional successes, though.
Okay, that's good to know. You are going to feel a tingle across your scalp, as Sam did as well. But you're only going to hear the voice echo through your mind as the connection ends. But here's the thing. Thoughts are interesting. Thoughts are strange. Thoughts do not necessarily... Depending on who you are, you think in different ways. I, for example, think similarly to like an internal narration. Like Kelly the Storyteller has an internal dialogue like Spider-Man does in the comics. Other people do not have this type of internal dialogue. And that means that they may not think in terms of words or in terms of language in general. But what you will hear is less of a word and more of an impulse. And it sounds unmistakably like, "Let me in." But not to you, Chastity. For as you feel that same tingle that Sam did go across your mind, you force it out. And your effect ends.
Okay, that's probably very stressful, though. And very
Oh, yeah,
concerning.
absolutely.
Okay, she's gonna, like, like stand stiff as a board, and she's actually gonna like grab his face and like look into his eyes and try and reconnect. Like,
oh, hey, I'm not. I haven't had enough to drink, and I'm not interested.
No, I don't care. Shut up. What was that?
What was what?
What did he say to you? He said something. The prince. What did he say? Or
Nothing.
Someone said something.
The prince didn't say anything. I told him he was being a jerk and that he needed to lock himself up till he sobered up. Also that he wasn't a very good Muslim.
Right. But that dude... What was that voice then? Or that thought? Or that...
What voice? I didn't hear anything.
How did you get back to the dining car?
I walked back. Look, do you remember everything you do in a day?
I can if I want to. It's just too much effort.
Okay.
And she's trying to get back to see, like, what happened after that.
Okay,
and then
give me the roll again.
I understand. Amy knows this is unreasonable. Chas is like, what the fuck? What's the difficulty to do that one again?
Difficulty of 6.
Okay. 2 successes.
Chastity, as you reconnect to him, you feel yourself sluggishly walk down a hallway, making your way down toward some of the fancier chambers, toward where the Corsairess is, where Lady Matilda, where the Caramidarus, where Lady Matilda is. Where that Mr. Ainsworth. Sam walks down and opens the door to Mr. Ainsworth's room. And you hear his voice say, "Feel free to go into any car you want." As a member of the train security, I invite you. And then he turns around and walks back toward the dining room. And as you are in this memory, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to make me a perception and awareness roll. Difficulty of 6.
One success.
One success. You are going to see that he steps into the room for just a moment. Like as he opens the door, he puts a foot in. And you remember, like looking through this, that the room smelled like incense. And there was a set of eyes looking out from the bed. The shades were drawn. Maybe it was the old man laying on the bed. The cranky one next to the honeymooning couple. Out in the hallway, you can hear the sound of loud talking. Anybody who wants to listen in on it,
to what the Miss Harlow, Barrow, and Trot are saying. Can please make me a perception and alertness roll at a difficulty of 7.
I think Darcie's too focused on Chas and Sam to pay attention.
Fair.
She's slightly concerned by hearing, what voice did you hear? What did he say? Kind of thing. So I think Darcie is, could I throw up a Prime and Life sight on Sam?
Sure. What are you looking for?
Just to check him out if he's different, because he's like, memory's been weird, so I think she's looking to see if like something magical's happened to him.
Sure, go ahead. And how would you do this?
Is anyone, so anyone else, we're alone in the room, yeah?
It's just just the 6 of you, yeah. With Henry.
Okay.
Okay. And I see 3 successes and 3 successes from the other 2 who are listening for what is happening outside.
I think Darcie is going to just start muttering under her breath really quietly, flipping to a page in her spell book, and just puts her hand into her pouch where she carries her serum, or puts her hand into like her little dress pocket where she keeps her ceremonial dagger, pricks her finger to draw blood, and just kind of rubs that very just kind of rubs the blood on her finger while reciting the thing to activate that sight.
Give it to me at difficulty 4.
Cool.
Now, as you are doing that, Josephine and Evelyn, you're going to hear out in the hallway. I don't understand exactly what is going on here, but we have a dead noble here. As far as I understand from what you've said, Trot, the man was an exile, but he still is a dead royal. Whatever sheik or sultan he's descended from is going to be in an uproar when they find that the wayward son has perished aboard this new line. It could shut the place down. All of our hard work will go up in smoke if we cannot go through these granted lands. I need to find out how he died. And as such, we will be stopping at Basra for a full investigation. I want you to prepare everyone on this train who could have been up here for a full interrogation. And make sure that your men are sober. Do not want any cock-ups. Do you understand me? Excuse my language, Miss Barrow. Oh, it's quite all right. I don't mind at all. I don't want any cock-ups either. Should I not have said that? And pardon me one moment. Well, she's great at that. I literally rolled a triple botch for her to do an awareness check on you guys, casting all the magic on the other side of the door. And I triple botched. So she has no idea what's going on, because I love her. She's my favorite. I'll make it happen, Mr. Trot says. Everyone will be ready by the time that we reach Basra. Which should be henceforth, what, a few hours in the morning? All we have to do, get through the night, and everything will be taken care of. In the meanwhile, I have ordered the body to be taken back to the room
kept safe. You did what then? That's going to ruin the upholstery. Do you know how long it took for me to figure... Fine, Wilhelmina will say. As long as the engine's not damaged, I don't really care what happens to their cars, but still, it's a bit frustrating. Can I have his car? Then I can leave the Irish woman behind. Perhaps we could have her bed down with the corpse. Wilhelmina, that is quite enough. Fine. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to make sure that we are primed and ready. I should be going as well. Finish with those strange women and get back to your duties, Mr. Trott. I shall, yes. Back inside the room, Darcie, how many successes did you get?
2.
All right, 2 successes. Sam appears completely normal, although a bit bruised. He was back in the room when the body was discovered and when the insects broke in. Although he had just entered a moment before. He looks pretty banged up, but besides that, appears totally normal. A bit tired.
Okay.
Why are you guys looking at me all funny like that? I think you have been corrupted. That something is wrong with your brain. Something wronger than normal, Henry says. Thanks for the vote of confidence. But what's really wrong here?
Do you recall stopping at any other rooms on the way back?
I headed up toward the observatory because I was gonna get a moment of space, and I was gonna read something that somebody put under my door.
So you don't recall stopping at any other rooms? Okay. You might... She's kind of like looking at the other doves.
What's the matter? Chastity? What's the problem?
He definitely... She's kind of like leaning over to Darcie, like, he definitely stopped at someone else's room and authorized them to enter any room on the train.
No, I didn't.
He didn't seem like himself.
Hey, I'm right here. Don't talk about me like I'm not here. Come on.
Oh, there was a reason I was trying to whisper.
Well, you're not very good at it.
Okay, fine. Yeah, well... Jess is gonna take a swig of something alcoholic, or put some in her teacup that's still sitting there, and is going to toss it back. And is going to trying to activate that mind sight to see if anything has affected his, trying to see if anything, like, if there's any traces of, like, mind control, if she can. If there's
all right,
any evidence.
Give it to me, difficulty 6.
Woo! Because if he doesn't remember it, he's acting kind of funky.
Darcie starts, like, inside panicking again. It's like, no, not another one. I can't do this. No more evil men. I can't.
Okay, I did not spend a willpower, and the 1 cancels out my success, so I just failed.
So taking a look, you don't think so? Your effect kind of fizzles as it reaches out at him, and he's like, look, I don't remember doing any of that. How would you even... Wait, why would you even know that? They are witches.
Would you believe divine intervention?
I believe witch is first. He points at Henry.
Really?
Before
All right,
divine intervention, have
happens.
you seen? I don't know many saints that drink the way you do or have a reputation
Have
like
you
you
met
do.
priests?
She does kind of have
Especially
you there.
Catholics. They like their communion wine.
Yeah, but the nuns usually aren't quite so.
Oh, yes, they are.
Are they?
Oh,
God,
yeah.
I met. I don't spend
Well,
much time around nuns.
My understanding is they just don't leave the abbey,
Yeah.
so you just don't see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So those are
it's
more discreet than the
public versus private persona. It has a bit of a different, you know.
Admittedly, I don't quite fit the mold entirely, but that's beside the point. The point is, perhaps we should go look at, I don't entirely recall the names of the individual, but, you know, between those honeymooners next to them, I think that was the room.
Mr. Ainsworth.
That could be it.
Well, I mean, he's the only other guy up there.
I don't. Anyway, for whatever reason, it seemed you stopped at that room.
Oh. You know what? I'm not even going to ask any questions at this point. This is weird enough. Fine. Will it make you feel better if we go up there?
Yes, a little bit.
One moment. So while you guys were talking, your boss and
Yeah, Mr.
whatever the
Trott.
creepy guy's name was.
Harlow.
Arlo.
Sure, that one. I think they're talking about heavily interrogating everyone.
Yeah,
I'd like
stopping
to
at.
avoid them.
Yeah. They're stopping the train to interrogate everyone.
Oh.
Well, fuck.
So let's maybe figure this out quickly because I don't want to be interrogated by him.
Me neither.
And she gives the others a
No.
very significant look because he's most definitely going to
Oh, yeah.
catch on to what they are.
Right.
It's so
Right.
probably his barrel. It's so probably his barrel.
Just. And she's kind of turning to the rest of the doves. If someone gave permission to a possibly evil, malicious entity to enter any room on the train, do any of you know how to, you know, not let them enter our rooms?
Can I roll to see
I
if
don't
I know
have that
something?
ability.
Anybody here can do me a favor and roll intelligence plus occult or esoterica.
Sweet. I have esoterica. Does
occult.
deductive apply?
Sure.
Sweet. Difficulty?
Difficulty of this? Ooh, it's kind of rough lore. I'm gonna say 8.
All right, no successes for Darcie.
Do I get any
Nope.
bonuses for being hermetic?
Difficulty 7.
It didn't really matter in the end, but thanks.
You know what? Hey, I'm here to make you feel better, really.
3 successes.
God, I mean,
Evelyn has heard some weird shit, apparently.
the thing is that oftentimes when people are
Oh, could it be like her husband had been like into it, but it had to be like kind of on the down low, hidden, like kind of discreet because technocracy isn't really into that sort of thing.
Sure. There are a number of rituals of hospitality that exist inside of certain supernatural creatures. Something that seems to be written into their very, very code that they have to abide by. Unfortunately, once this is given, it is very difficult to revoke. That doesn't mean it's impossible. It just means that you probably have to go room by room and probably consecrate them or put up type of shielding or something like that against them. It's doable. It's just a lot.
And in terms of actual mechanics of magic. A lot of words are correspondence 4, and I don't have that.
That's true. Correspondence 3 can do specific bands, though, if you... so if you know that.
I don't know if that's the case in M20, but I'm happy if you want to do it that way.
Damn straight it is. It when combined with other things, yes. I'm going to say that you can still do bands, physical bands, which can be broken, but they basically will count as a buffer. An invisible red rover.
I'm also kind of thinking about the idea of like, well, if as a physical body, could I literally put an entropy field on the door and the window so that if it walks through it, it disintegrates the body?
With entropy 4, you can have contingent effects with entropy 4, yeah. The if then this, like programmed effects.
Yeah.
Chastity.
But she's going to raise a point of consecration and potentially, if anybody can think of anything that these sorts of clues would add up to what it could be. Like, are there folk tales of like, you know, like vampires and salt and garlic, or like evil spirits and salt? And
I would say that with your knowledge that vampires and ghosts are primarily vampires, ghosts, and demons.
Okay.
Are the ones that usually need permission.
Okay. So she's going to say all that to hopefully maybe jog somebody else's ability to know how to deal with such.
Chastity, real quick, before Darcie's gonna kind of lean close to Chastity. Is Sam possessed? Does he have...
think so?
Okay, good.
I think he just kind of got... And she's like miming like marionette strings, kind of like...
Okay, good. That's all I need to know.
I think.
Okay.
So as you're saying that, Evelyn, you're going to hear Henry clear his throat. If it is some type of dark creature, then I'm not certain what could have done those things. The locusts, they left behind no bodies.
Yeah, they weren't really there.
What?
Then how do you explain this?
What?
He points to the wounds on his face and arms.
Well, you believe they were there? The mind is incredibly powerful.
Yeah, they hit me too, but it's fine now.
Are you saying that my mind is more powerful than Josephine's?
Yes.
I doubt that. Perhaps mine is just more stubborn. He looks at her. I doubt that too.
I mean, there are things that cannot truly be explained, but...
Look, I didn't go to anybody else's room, but if you want to go check it out right now, we can see what Ainsworth is up to.
That would be fantastic. I very much think we should.
Good.
Although I think that perhaps we should either leave 2 of us here to protect the rooms, or figure some way to keep anyone from entering.
It's called a lock.
Yeah, I don't think that's enough. Oh, but maybe, Evelyn, can you do something so that if anyone tries to open the door, they just, like, I don't know, drop something on them? With your powders and potions and chemistry? Maybe?
Entirely possible. She's going to go over to the table and start rooting through her bag and...
Just a thought.
So yeah, she'd like to rig up something.
Sure, what are you gonna
do? You know what? Since she works with most often chemical type things, I'm thinking like a perfume bottle spritzing downwards that rig it up so when the door opens, and she's gonna work into like the magic, but that'll be like the component of like doing that sort of entropy of leaving something there for if somebody who does not belong, I guess. This is not going to be a human, so I'm not sure how to like indicate, because I don't necessarily want to like disintegrate somebody who's
just breaking in
random
to steal things.
Yeah.
What other spheres do you have?
I have life, matter, prime, and spirit.
You could tie it to life and matter. You could say that. What do you think? What do you think is coming to the room?
I think she's thinking like really old vampiric.
If a dead body enters the room?
This is true. That would work.
If an animated corpse
Maybe
enters the
tie
room?
it to like, yeah.
You could do that. Of course, that means that if
evil spirit. Of course, that would also fuck Marrow Taster.
well, if Marrow Taster counts as a corpse too, so if Marrow Taster tried to leave,
yeah,
but he's too busy building his cathedral.
This is true. She'll warn him, don't leave. This will destroy
Darcie
you.
Try and send a feeling out from herself to Bran for Bran to go snooping about and looking around for someone breaking into rooms?
Sure, absolutely. So let's finish with Evelyn first. So Evelyn, are you going to have it targeting what?
Let's tie it to dead body, ridden body type thing.
So this is going to be at a difficulty of 8, please. Actually 7, you're using chemicals.
Cool.
And so successes are going to be, before you roll, successes are going to be split between 2 effects, because technically this is an entropy effect and an entropy effect going up at the same time, so it's a conjunctional effect. So it's going to be split between the duration and then the power. So let's say that you probably want...
And I'll take like a little bit of time to set this up.
Sounds good. Go ahead and...
Because I also want what's their faces
if you're taking a little bit of time
from the room.
Let's go ahead and do some ability enhancing magic.
Sure.
So instead, make me an intelligence and science chemistry roll. Difficulty 6.
Okay, so science chemistry, that means my specialty of chemistry is definitely applying. Is my intelligence deductive? I guess that doesn't really matter. Can I stack specialties?
You can't stack specialties. You don't like re-roll 10s twice.
Okay. Difficulty again? Sorry.
Difficulty 6.
Thanks.
Yeah, we don't need the 30 success, whatever this is. Oh no.
Someone opens the door and explodes.
You can stop counting at 3. She can't stop counting at 3.
No. 7.
7? Cool.
I mean, you only get the benefit of 3.
You only get the benefit of 3.
Yeah.
So please make me your Arete roll at now a difficulty of 4.
Okay.
And you are wanting at least 4 successes.
Okay. Can I spend another willpower to...
Yeah. 100%.
And while it may not matter, are we using the rule of like if you get half, you can continue on into the next
100%.
round, and yeah.
Okay. Does this also count as destructive?
Yeah, it will, because it's a conjunctional effect with that.
Okay.
Like I said, I didn't think it was going to matter, but good to clarify.
7.
7 successes. Okay, so
That's including the willpower.
So, how long are you holding this up for? Like an hour?
I think we can probably plan to be back in that time frame.
Okay, so that means that 3 successes are going to go into duration. But because we have that shared first success, that's going to be 2. You'll have 5 successes of damage hitting anything that goes into this room that is corpse-shaped.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Perfect.
That should at least semi-slow it down.
Well, that's 10 levels of aggravated damage. So, yeah.
Or at least make it obvious.
It will. That is going to raise your paradox by 1, though, because this is a vulgar thing that you're setting up.
Woo!
Okay.
Are we using the rule that it's when you set it up or when it goes off?
I mean, I'm basically just adding it right now, so that, like...
That's fair.
Yeah. Just, I mean, look, guys, Paradox is so weak in M20 to begin with. That's why I can't wait to run Mage 99 and go back to the old Paradox rules, because screw you guys.
Yep.
Right?
I find it so hard to tell what is coincidental and what is paradoxical in Victorian. Like, I don't
It's because it's weird.
All right. So, meanwhile, Darcie, you send a telepathic message to Bran, sending him further up to go and check things out. And as he does so, he's going to... You're going to hear a telepathic, or feel a telepathic pulse back that says, hands. I don't have hands. And you're going to get a mental pulse of him staring at the door between the two cars.
Darcie face palms.
Then you're going to get the feeling of him like trying to jump up and hit this, but he only weighs like 10 pounds, so he can't really. Maybe 15.
Brian, you're doing a great job, and I appreciate that, but I don't think you're going to get anywhere with that.
Tuna. I need tuna. If I had more tuna, I'd be heavier.
Yeah, and you wouldn't be able to jump, because you'd be too fat.
I'm willing to take that risk.
I'm not. Alright, I'll come and let you out between the cars. Darcie's will be like, I'm going to be right back.
Stepping into the cars, opening the door. Can you make me a perception and alertness roll?
Sure. Does either
Hearing.
Uncanny Instincts or
Ooh.
Hawkeyes?
So you can. Yes, Hawkeyes will apply.
Nice. What is my difficulty?
Your difficulty is going to be 6 only.
Oh my god, I rolled another 3 ones on 8 dice. I hate this. 1 success, because my ones cancel out.
Opening the door into the next corridor, you can see the wood paneling stretch back along the left side. The windows show the darkness of the evening setting over the desert. The interior lights are dimmed. They're electric, and as you are looking, you know that the first doors are the Corvallises, and then the next was Mr. Ainsworth, and then Lady Corvallis, and according to the memory that Chastity had walked through, the next room... No, I guess that was behind you. It was in your car? Either way, as you're looking down, you see that Mr. Ainsworth's door is open a tiny bit. It's open a crack. And as the train hits a little a little jump, the door will and swing slightly. It's maybe 10 feet from you. What do you do? Did you take the curiosity flaw?
Boy, did I. Yep, boy, did I. I make a wits roll to give into temptation. All right, you can set the difficulty for that.
7.
7, okay. Or more compelling mystery would be a difficulty 9. This might be a 9 potentially for. Cat, I'll roll a wits roll. This is fine. This is fine. Yeah, I was just scrolling my character sheet to be like, I was like, I'm pretty sure Darcie has curiosity.
And I believe
I rolled 3 8s. I rolled 3 8s on my wits.
Josephine, do you also have curiosity?
No.
Okay, probably for the best.
Yep.
So Darcie's going to go towards the door because the curiosity gets the better of her.
I have
This is
overconfident. It's different.
Oh, I see. Darcie,
I also have naive.
You step into the next car. And the door's right open in front of you. Do you open it? Do you push it open the rest of the way?
This is fine. This is fine.
Stepping forward, you push the door open, revealing an incredibly fancy half room. The little antechamber. This suite is much nicer than yours by a factor of an extra half. You can see that there is luggage, several suits hanging in an open wardrobe. And the smell of incense hits you. There is a large bed in the adjoining chamber. And you can see that it is slick with darkness. The lights are not on inside of the room, and you can see in the center of the bed is a pool of liquid that looks like oil in the dim lighting, but you know it is not. The smell assaults you. There's no one inside of this room, though.
Oh boy. No one inside this room but blood.
Do you stay inside the room?
No, she probably is gonna... I mean, if there's anything that probably piques her curiosity flaw, she probably will go check on it, but...
As you take a step back, you will hear on the other side of the wall, further toward the front of the train, the sound of glass breaking. The next room over, something shatters. A tumbler, a mirror, it's hard to tell. What do you do?
Darcie's gonna go look at it because she's damn curious. She will put through the telepathic bond, like, go warn the others, Bran. Go tell them what I'm doing, please. I'm
All
going
right.
to just take a snoop.
Bran rushes back and scratches on the door. Hey, girls. Darcie's doing something stupid. Hurry.
She's a what now?
Did that cat just talk? Sam says.
He said meow.
Actually,
We
no,
gotta go.
he's invisible right now. He's predator cat, so unless he invisible.
He became visible to talk to them.
Perfect. Okay, great. We love this. We love
No, you're just hearing things. It's fine.
I said meow, and he turns around and runs.
This is giving me Amelia vibes.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I need a shirt with Chibi brand, better done, and just says, I said meow, because he's done that twice now.
Meanwhile, Evelyn, where you're standing, Henry looks at you, looks at the cat, and goes, shrug.
And I know Chas is heading out. She's gonna grab a bottle of wine and her
Okay.
Bible and cross, and everything, everything she needs.
Rushing up.
And her crop.
And your crop, of course. Heading up to Matilda Corsaris's, Lady Matilda Corsaris's room. Darcie, the door is unlocked. The L-shaped handle nestles into your palm, and as you touch it, it's slick. The door opens with a click, and as you push it inward, the room is dark, aside from a single table lamp that is broken on the floor. You see Matilda Corsaris, proud throat, haughty demeanor, splayed across the floor. Her arms outstretched, her fingers clawing impotently into the carpeting. You see a man crouched over her that you will recognize as Mr. Ainsworth. And as he raises his face, he says, I'm sorry. I was just so hungry. And as he looks at you, you see the redness of his eyes and the blood smearing his fanged mouth as he lunges at you.
Oh no.
And I think that's where we're going to call tonight's game.
Probably for the best, yeah.
Probably for the best.
Yeah, probably for the best.
All right, folks, that is going to be it for tonight, because I love me a good cliffhanger. Folks, we're going to be back in just a few short weeks to resolve this. As we jump further into this, we've got a few more games left in this. I'm glad you thought this was a good one. Thank you so much. Players, I have 1 XP from the chat, and I have 2 XP from me. So unless anybody buys more XP, that's going to be 3 points of experience for you tonight as we head back into this year. Folks, I have so many great things prepped magely for the rest of the year. I hope that you are excited for them. I love Mage the Ascension. It is basically my go-to game, and I'm really happy to be able to share it with you. A big thank you to everybody who keeps us on the air. Oh, there's another XP. Thank you, Chandra. All right. Boop, boop, boop. All right, 4 XP. All right, that is going to be it for us tonight. Thank you so much for our patrons who keep us on the air. Our divine producers, which include my mother, as well as Shikon Day Vermilion and Soul Omen, our wizards of the Patreon, the Ink Goblin, Crush Urquhart, and Big Nut, our monster maker Larook, and our high council Terran Amberthist, Raven with Baubles, Sorcerer Sanguine, Chef Eladeth, Nerdy Metal Gent, Nihilist, Cookiemon Steve, Iron Warrior X, and Lord of Zoinks. And I will mark that drama bomb that was just bought for me. You guys are all amazing. Definitely go and sign up for the notifications on the Dork Tales Dice. It doesn't cost you anything to sign up for notifications. It just lets us build hype and show that more people want to hear more about the cool stuff that we're doing. So please go do it. It's free. It makes us feel better, makes us super happy. And in the meanwhile, I'm very curious to see what my players think is going on, but I'm going to wait till next episode to decide that, or to find out what you're thinking is going on. Aside from the fact that this guy is apparently a vampire, or has fangs. He might be a werewolf. Who knows?
I'm wondering if Darcie should I should buy up my melee 4, because I have my melee 3, and then take a specialty in staking.
Stake? No, you haven't done any staking.
I know, but we've dealing with enough vampires now. But yes, no, it's
you haven't fought a single vampire. That'll change next episode. Good night, everybody.